It's that time. You have joined in with the post route with your host, W. Earl Kitchings.
Good evening and welcome to the Post Route, the show where we dive deep into conversations with black quarterbacks, both past and present, national and international. I'm your host, W. Earl Kitchings, and this show is proudly brought to you by Quarter Five Back, the preeminent fraternity for black quarterbacks and home of the prestigious BIP Memorial Trophy, the only national award that honors both the top HBCU quarterback and the top black quarterback from high schools across the nation. We're thrilled to have you again with us tonight. And if you enjoy our content and want to support what we're doing here on the Post Route or at Quarter Five Back, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, or tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Join us live every Monday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for more phenomenal conversations. You know, the word opportunity is a word that each one of us has to or has dealt with on many different fronts. And even today, the word opportunity continues to be something that each one of us is looking to make the best of, whether it's in our professional lives, whether it's in our personal lives, whether it's in our social lives, whether it's across the board. When opportunity presents itself, we're always looking to make the best. And there's a saying that says, what is good luck? Well, good luck is when preparation meets opportunity. That's how you get good luck. So tonight, our guest is a guy who has taken advantage of opportunity. Not only did he have an opportunity to have a college career that seemed like it was on track going some far places, and then it got stalled. And even in that stalling, the opportunity came where he had a chance to go play professional football. No, not in the NFL or CFL. I know a lot of folks, that's their dream. That's what they're wanting to do, man. They want to get to the NFL or the CFL. But there's so many opportunities for football players in this day and time, in this 21st century, to make an opportunity, making a situation for yourself come true. Whether it's in Japan, Mexico, whether it's in the XFL, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in Germany, there are opportunities abound. Whether it's in arena league or indoor league, the opportunities are there. Once upon a time, these opportunities were very minimal. Once upon a time, there were no football leagues on the international scene. But now there are teams seeming like everywhere. And our guest tonight is going to talk a little bit about that experience and that opportunity that he's taken advantage of. By way of Lorton, Virginia, South County High, our guest tonight had an opportunity to first start his college career at Malone University up in Ohio, a D2 program. And in that year at Malone, threw for 2,326 yards, 16 touchdowns. Man, he was looking forward to making his name known in that program. But the opportunity for that program went away. They disbanded the program, and he had to find some other place to take his talents. Fortunately for him, he was able to land a spot at Morehead State University up in Kentucky. And while the time to get on the field was not as great as he wanted, the opportunity to go and take his talents overseas opened up a door. And for the last 3-4 years, that's where he's been, doing his thing, making the most of his opportunity. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest, Mr. DeAndre Clayton.
Hey,
DeAndre,
what's
welcome
up?
to the Post Route.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother, doing great. Man, let me tell you, when the opportunity is bamming at your door, sometimes you don't want to answer, but most times you better answer because
Got to.
time they're knocking.
You gotta take it. Every time it knocks.
Well, you've had quite an experience to talk about, DeAndre. I mean, from this from the standpoint of leaving out of your hometown up there in Lorton, Virginia. Lorton is right outside of where?
Right outside of DC. So it's about a 30-minute drive from DC.
Okay, 30
So
minutes
we
from
still in that
DC.
DMV area, yeah, Northern Virginia. You know, I gotta say that for the people that's not from around there. You gotta say like DMV.
Hey.
Cause if I tell them Virginia, they might start thinking I'm like riding horses and all that stuff. No, not from where I'm from.
Yeah, that DMV is something special, man. I'm glad y'all put that acronym on there, the DMV, so
Yeah,
everybody knows. So
for
you
sure.
left there, had a great high school career, decided to take your talents to Clarion College. That wasn't a good fit for you, I guess. Ended up at Malone. Talk a little bit
Yes, sir.
about that transition from a place where you thought was good to a place, man, that you found to be home. I mean, from
I
Clarion to
mean,
Malone,
yeah.
you found it to be like home. What was that like?
It's actually funny because Malone, that was my first offer, like out of high school. So I mean, I went there for a visit. The visit was great, but I just wanted to, see what else was out there, see what other opportunities are out there, and then, Clarion that came calling. One of my friends was already committed, so he was going there, and he told me like, "Yo, like just come on, we could be something great." And I saw that what they did the previous season. I'm like, you know what? I think I could succeed here. So then after that, another one of my teammates and good friends committed as well. So there was three of us that went up there together from the same high school, same team. So I was like, all right, this can't go wrong. I mean, then first semester comes by, I red shirt, which I expected to do because the quarterback was
Right.
a senior. So I expected that, and went through spring ball. We actually had another transfer come in, and then he had the spot, and then that put me down to third. So I was already third string my freshman year, and then come again my sophomore year, third string again. So then I try and talk to the coach and all that, see which ways I can get on the field. I even suggested like moving the receiver, but I mean that didn't work out. So then after that, I was kind of like almost like toward the end of the season, I'm kind of like I gotta find somewhere else. And then so at that time I'm looking at schools and all that stuff. Then I see Malone has a senior that's graduating. I'm like maybe I belong here. I contacted the coach, and then from there he came up to Clarion, came to see me, was like, "All right, you want to come now?" I was like, "Yep, I feel like it's where I need to be. I feel like it's where I need to be." So then, yep. After that, I mean, took a visit with my dad, and then I was like, "Yep, this is where I'm gonna be at."
Okay. Well,
Yeah, yeah. So
there's
then,
nothing like experiences where you keep growing. So you grew out of that experience at Clarion and found a great home at Malone. And
yes,
man,
sir.
you threw for 2,300 plus yards there. Uh,
Yeah,
and you were doing your thing there, man, and everything was right with the world.
everything. Yeah,
And then they let you know that, well, we will not be having football anymore.
yeah.
What was
That
that like?
was a tough day.
Was
Tough
it?
day. I mean, it was just because it was on a Friday, I believe. So just like any other Friday, like the year before when I got there in the spring, we had all of our conditioning on Fridays. So I was like, all right, cool. So maybe like we got a text from coach late at night. It's like just be at the gym 6 a.m. I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe it's just like we're gonna start conditioning now.
Right,
And then
right.
we get in there, we got the bleachers down. I'm like, this is not usually how conditioning starts. And then so like we sit down, the president of the school comes in, and
Wow.
he's like, yeah, so he's like, I'm gonna just keep it short. I'm gonna just let you guys know, like, we decided to, disband the football team. It cost too much money for the school and all that stuff. So it was like for just keep the school up, make sure they weren't losing too much more money. And then that was a tough day. I mean, you had different guys reacting different ways.
Yeah.
Some guys are kind of like, well, this is it. Like I'm not playing football anymore. Let me just go get my degree. Bunch of
Okay.
other guys like, you know what? Like this is an opportunity that I've been looking for. Like guys that got good film. It's another opportunity for them to go somewhere else and showcase that talent as well. And then so I mean, unfortunately, I was one of those people who had film to move on and keep on playing. And Morehead State, that was the only D1 team that had offered me at first. So I took it and I said, "Yep, this is where we're gonna be." Like, I went down for a few visits, had a great time, like really
Okay.
meshed well with the teammates down there and all that stuff. So I was like, "This is awesome." D1, I got teammates that I really like that I like to chill with and all that stuff. And it's just like a small town, another small town. So I was like, "All
Yeah.
right, that could
Yeah.
be nice. That could be nice for me."
Okay.
Went there. I mean, it all seemed like to be the right thing, and it was at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ended up being exactly what I needed. I met the people that I needed to meet to me be where I'm at now. So
Okay.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Was it a little tough not getting on the field as much as you wanted to when you got to Moorhead?
100%. I mean, I got there. Of course, I tell myself like I'm gonna go there and start, of course. But I
Right,
mean
of
that
course.
unfortunately didn't happen, and I mean I just knew nothing. I had to work because I mean I knew what was wrong. Like I just wasn't in the playbook like I should have been. I should have
Okay.
been like more in the
Okay.
playbook. I definitely was having trouble with that. Just getting used to it, like another offense. Like going, that's 3 years in a row. I got a new offense. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this, that. So, but then but by the fourth game, I started to get some play time, like as like a little wildcat, and then I come in, and then eventually my role like grew and grew and grew, to where I was more than just a wildcat quarterback, where me and the other guy, we would switch on and off
Yeah.
and all that stuff. But it didn't get to the point where I really got to start at Moorhead. So over 2 years, it was really like me going in and out for games. I finished with like 3 or 4 pass attempts or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did changing positions ever cross your mind while you were at Moorhead?
No,
No.
no, not at all. I was like, I mean, because after the first year, I was like, all right, you know what, that's kind of that's okay. Like I just got my feet wet and all that stuff, and then we can come back the next year and then have a real battle during camp, and then the best man wins. I mean, that was going to be both of our last years,
Yeah.
but as you know, that was 2019. Though the 2020 was COVID, so we
Yeah.
all ended up
Yeah.
getting extra season and all that stuff, and then so I was like, all right, cool. So then I guess spring ball just got pushed back to fall ball. So then we had like a spring ball schedule in the fall of 2020
Hmm.
and played our season in the spring of 21. But then yeah, so during fall ball, I mean it was a good battle. And then spring came again, like where the season was. Then we split up the first game, and then the second game I got one drive. And after that, that was the end of my career at Moorhead. Didn't play again after that.
Okay.
But it's just like the coach he had found the guy he wanted to be with, and then stuck with that. I can't blame
Okay.
him for that. That guy's actually still one of my close friends. So he's actually one of the guys that got me to come out to Europe in the first place. So
Okay.
I mean, like that's why I'm saying like Moorhead State did exactly what I had to do. I graduated from there. Have
Okay.
some friends that I
Okay.
still talk to this day. So I mean, I don't like I'm super proud that I went to Moorhead.
Well, that experience prepared you for life beyond college football because if you go to the pros and things, when you look at some of the guys who get drafted after 2 years, they move on to another team. Uh,
Yep.
they might play there. I mean, I think about Justin Fields leaving Chicago, going to Pittsburgh. Started with Pittsburgh. They pulled the plug on him. He didn't play anymore after about 8 games. So
Yep.
now he's with the New York Jets. Well,
Yep.
that kind of sounds like what happened to DeAndre Clayton. I'm here. Go through this. I go through that. Okay, but I keep landing on my feet. That's the beautiful
Yeah.
thing. I keep landing on my feet and
Yes,
keep
sir.
going forward. So,
That's the only
um,
option. I mean, there is no option to stop. I mean, like not when you're chasing what I was chasing. Like there was no stopping. There was only okay, this didn't work. What's another way that we're gonna make this work? What's another way that we're
okay,
gonna keep on playing football and keep on going further in my career? So that was the only thing on my mind. It wasn't. I thought about the blocks very very shortly. I mean,
yeah,
I knew I had to move on, and that's something that my family always teaches me. It's like, all right, cool, you got to roll with the punch. You got to be able to be light on your feet, be able to go different ways to get to the place that you want to get. The only
right,
thing that matters is the place that you want to be. How you get there really, doesn't matter. Just that we get to
okay.
where we want to be.
Well, before I ask you some things about that journey to Europe, when we got your name and looked at bringing you on the show,
Yes, sir.
what I do, man, I get into this research mode and I start looking at, well, okay, he's a black quarterback at Morehead State. Who else has been at Morehead State that has made their bones or played or whatever? And I was able to go all the way back to 1973.
Okay.
1973 through 76. There's a guy by the name of Terry Flowers out of
Okay.
Dayton, Ohio, the first black quarterback at Morehead State.
Yes,
All the
sir.
way back to 1973, man.
Man. Okay. So yeah, we had a little bit of legacy going on there
A little bit,
for
and you're a
sure.
part of that legacy now.
Yeah,
Uh,
no doubt.
so between there was another guy came out of Ohio in '74. His name was Pete Jones, and then another guy out of Cincinnati named Doug Joyner. He played in the late '70s to '80.
Hmm.
Deron Hunter played, and then they switched him to like a running back. Then from 81 through 2004, they didn't have anybody. So
Mm-hmm.
2004, we had a guy by the name of Brian Burley out of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
06, they had a guy by the name of Deontay Ware out of Cincinnati. Jared Phillips out of Hamilton, Ohio in 07 and 08, and Evan Sawyer in 07, 08 out of Dayton. And that
Okay. Yeah.
basically was it until this guy named DeAndre Clayton came. That was basically it, man.
Yeah.
So just to give you a little legacy so you'll know, man, because again, if you don't know the history, then you're kind of missing something. And
Yeah. For sure.
again, as our mission to preserve legacies, I gotta find out, who's done that, who's been there, who's kind of laid that foundation. Because if you go all the way back to 1973 and think about Terry Flowers, it's not like what it is when you got to Morehead State. Yeah, the black
Yeah.
quarterbacks are pretty everywhere. No, man,
Yep.
when you're like
Exactly.
the one of 1,000, you know, man, and you
A
might
spot
be
that a lot of people want.
right, and then it might only be one or two black guys on the whole team. Okay, so you are fighting a lot of other battles and issues, man. Meshing in, dealing with a coach, dealing with teammates, dealing with alumni, dealing with students. It's a lot of things going on that you might not think about. But
For sure.
we're making an effort to reach out to Terry Flowers, man. If I can find him, I want to bring him on the show. I hope he's
No
still
doubt.
around so that I can just have a conversation with him because at the time he got to Morehead State, we were in high school about the same time. I came out of high school about 72. So understanding what I had two teammates who were the first black quarterbacks at the University of Florida in 72
Okay.
and
Yeah.
74. So I understand what's going on at those times in that social aspect. But again, to let a DeAndre Clayton know, hey, man, look, you standing on the shoulders of this guy. Nobody probably told you about him. You didn't know about him. Ain't nobody
Yeah. I
even
didn't know
mentioned
about
this
that
guy,
one.
right?
Yes, sir.
So you don't even know about this guy, but
Yeah. No,
fortunately,
I never hadn't heard of him. So
exactly.
crazy. Yeah.
But I'm looking at his write up in the media guy, Terry Flowers, quarterback, 5'11", 180 from Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
so this is what we do here at Quarter Five back in the post route, man. Just to make sure you guys know where the
Yeah.
legacies
Know
are.
know
And
know what the, know what we coming from for sure.
exactly, you need to
Mm-hmm.
know because just like you talk about your family, being over in Germany. You needed to know
Yeah.
that. They needed to share that with you so you'll know, hey man, where are your roots? Where are your
Yeah.
roots,
Yeah.
man? Okay. So this is why I do what I do. But anyway, let's go back to you in this transition. So minimal time at Morehead, but yet obviously the footage that you sent to some coach got you a good look so you could start playing in Europe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it
Okay.
actually, after Morehead State, I had one more season due to COVID. Ended up going to Glenville, but that was just one season, and I
Okay.
played a couple games, but I actually ended up getting hurt in like the first game of the year. So then
Okay.
it was just a process getting back to that. But then got home, got to training, ended up getting an invite to an All-Star game called the Podium Bowl down in Florida.
The
So going
Podium
down
Bowl.
there, yes, sir. So going down there, they had like a good relationship with teams overseas. So I was
Okay.
able to like get my name out through that, and then also a couple friends. One the quarterback from Moorhead, Mark, who played in. He ended up signing to Sweden like that December, going into 2022. The team in Sweden, and then I had another friend who I trained with named Kevin. He is signed to a team to go to do in Spain. So those two guys, I asked them like, "Yo, like, how do y'all figure out to go over there?" Because I was just looking for opportunities to play. I was like, I know I'm not done. I know like I got some more football left in me. It's like, so I'm like, I gotta play somewhere. And they told me, your website called Euro Players. I got on
Mm,
there, signed up, and then from there, all I knew was Germany. Like that's the only teams I knew about in
right.
Europe. So I'm like, I'm looking at all the German teams, just messaging them and all that stuff. A team from Denmark ended up hitting me up called Aalborg 89ers, and I'm like, Denmark. Like, all right. I mean, shoot, I never like to be honest, like Denmark was not a country that was on my mind, like at all. Growing up in America, it's like I'm not thinking about Denmark right now.
Right,
But then,
right.
I mean, They had contacted me and then actually end up finding out that there's a connection between my kicker at Malone and the chairman and his son who ended up playing running back on the team. So then
Okay.
after that, I was like, this is crazy. This is a small world. You know, I was like, you know what? And like I had good conversation with the coach back and forth. Ended up signing there. Got there my first year. Loved it. I mean, loved my teammates, loved the city, loved everything about just being over in Europe and like being like independent like that. You know, gotta find your way in a new country. Like it's not like it's America where I
Exactly.
can understand everything that's going on. Like I gotta start talking to people who speak a different language. I gotta be able to like be respectful of their culture and all that stuff. Like
Exactly.
integrate myself into a new way of life. And I mean, I absolutely enjoyed it. So then I ended up going back there for a second year, and that was even better than the first, just because like the
Okay.
connection that we had already built and all that stuff. So I knew these guys for a whole year now, and it just yeah, it was amazing. So now I mean, I'm just like I love Europe. Let me just see other places. Let me go play on other teams, meet new people. Try and make an impact in their life and have them, make an impact on mine as well.
Sure. So the Allberg 89ers, what does 89ers stand for?
So the team was actually founded in 1989. So that's just where they
Okay.
got the 89er from.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. I know. And that's see the Niners, like the 49ers. Yeah. So basically, same concept almost.
The 89ers. I like that. So DeAndre, talk a little bit about the fact that just like with the international basketball teams for the international football team and the players, uh, the salary is not what a lot of people might want it to be, but they do take care of you in other ways. Talk a little bit of
Oh, for
how they
sure.
take care of you guys.
I mean, so it really just depends on the contract that you negotiate. But like there, for the most part, everything that's standard is the house. You're gonna get like a place to live. You're gonna get a transportation card. You'll get, some teams offer meals, some teams offer, different things, grocery cards. You can get a car in some places. So I mean, they'll gym membership for sure, and then insurance is something also that they make sure they take care of while you're over here.
Okay.
So it's like you really got everything you need to live, and then the money you
Yeah.
make over that. I mean, it's just like you can use that to travel. You can use that to in cases like me, you can save it up when you go back home. You can just spend it all here if you want to. I mean, but like it's enough for you to live comfortably for sure. Like you don't have to worry about anything when you're over. They make sure that you're taken care of for sure.
Taken care of. Now, I just had an interesting thought because I know this has been happening on the international scale for soccer and basketball for a long time. We're just now starting to do it here in the United States, and we're calling it, at least for the pros, you start seeing, I know in basketball, you start seeing the pro teams wear advertisement on the uniform. But they've been doing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
in Europe for a long time. That's nothing
Even
new
even if you
in
go back
Europe.
to the NFL Europe, like they had a bunch of like advertisements on their jerseys
Right,
and all that too.
right.
It's
So
like somebody got to sponsor it.
exactly, exactly. So that part was already in place. And now when you hear about the NIL coming for college, it's like, well, I'm kind of already used to that in Europe because they were already doing sponsorship things. So it's interesting that that concept was already in place in Europe, but because we were so in tune to the monetary aspects that they
Yeah.
didn't want that to be a part. So how do you feel about NIL in this day and time?
I mean, it's great. I'm all for it. I mean,
Okay.
I'm happy that the players get paid. I mean, it's like we have a full time job as student athletes. So it's
Yeah.
like we're
Yeah.
athletes, especially those guys at those higher levels.
Yeah.
I mean they're those are really jobs. Like they're waking up early in the morning. They have meetings all throughout the day as well as class. I mean, like I watch like the Colorado and what they do out there. I'm like, these kids are there to get paid for sure. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
like I feel like we did as well. I mean, I feel like that should have been something that was, from the start. At least give them
Some kind of
something like
stipend.
more than just like a scholarship. Like I don't think that is exactly enough
Right.
compared to what we do.
Yeah. Now you mentioned negotiating contracts. Is it left up to each player in Europe and Germany to negotiate their own contracts, or do you have agents over there to negotiate for you?
So some guys have agents. I and a bunch of the other guys that I know, we kind of just do our own thing. Like we're
Okay.
independent. We negotiate for ourselves, find terms and all that for ourselves. I mean, I feel like it's something that's good for you to have as a skill anyway. Do something like this. I mean, to where you can negotiate, they're allowing you to, tell them what terms you need and all that stuff. You might as well get those negotiating skills, while you can.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
I guess some of that majoring in business is paying off for you.
Yes, it is. Leveraging things out. Making sure I
Well,
get the best deal.
once again, opportunity. Like I started the show, opportunity. So here's an opportunity for you to learn how to do negotiations. You
Yes,
know,
sir. Exactly.
to affect you directly as it relates to your talents and skills with a business who wants to utilize that from a perspective of sports. So now you get that
Yes.
opportunity to negotiate, which, hey, you can advise, consult the next guy. Hey, man, let me tell you what might be some better ways to
Yep.
get your contract done in some of
100%.
these situations.
Telling me anything things that they should try and get for themselves. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
what this whole European thing is about. I mean, like, because all the Americans over here, I mean, a bunch of us know each other. Like, we might not even play each other, but it's just like the circle of Americans is like you'll know somebody who knows somebody else. So
right,
then by that
right.
way, like we're only like one or two connections away from knowing this guy or that guy.
Okay, okay. So now, if guys wanted to come to Europe, you mentioned a website. I want you to mention that again. If a guy
Yes, sir.
is looking for options, okay, so I'm coming out of Division II school. I want to play pro football beyond what I'm doing. The NFL is not knocking on my door. The CFL is not knocking. Barely getting
Yeah.
anybody to ring my doorbell. But I hear about this situation, opportunity in Europe. How do I get there?
Yes, sir. So it's europlayers.com. It's
Europlayers.com.
yeah, it's free to sign up. You can do like a monthly thing, which will give you like unlimited access. You can
Okay,
message as many people. You can go to as many profiles as you want to. But yeah, you can definitely do that. That's the way that I always advise. Of
okay,
course, you can always get on Instagram. There's plenty of coaches on Instagram. I'll be glad to pass those guys along, the ones that I do have contacts with. I mean, because it's so many ways you can get into it. Really, I mean, but word of mouth is really like the biggest thing. I mean, because without talking to people and meeting up, I wouldn't know to go to Euro players. So
okay. Um, and as it relates to African American football players in Europe, uh, what is that like as far as numbers and
shoot, I would
relationships?
say there's a lot. It's a lot of black guys out here playing. I mean,
Okay,
I've played with last year when I went to Helvetic in the ELF, I played with. I mean, it was both of our DBs were my receiver that I came in with me. So I mean, all four Americans at one point were black guys.
okay,
So I mean, yeah, and then right now on my team here in Oslo, the other American is a black man as well. He's actually from the area, from
okay,
DMV. But yeah, so he's
okay,
out here and he lives out here. So
okay.
that's what I'm saying. It's plenty of opportunity. Like once you get out here, not just for football, for things beyond that.
How amazing is it to see black guys from other countries?
Uh, it's nice. It's nice because I mean, like
Okay,
these guys, like when you meet black people here, like say they aren't like my American
right,
teammates and all that stuff. They're
right,
like actually from the country that they come from. So like they're not
exactly.
this by way of America. They're like straight from Ghana, straight from Cameroon, something like that.
Well, I see some guys, man. They're like, well, this guy's from France, this guy's from
Yeah.
Italy, this guy. I mean, it's like, there's a black guy from Italy. Yeah, it's a black guy from Denmark. There's a black guy from Norway.
Yeah.
It's like by way of no, they were born and raised in that
Born
country,
here,
man. They're
yeah.
not by way of
Parent,
America, you
yeah.
know,
Parent born somewhere else, but then they born right here in Norway.
right
Yeah.
here, man. And you see that happen a lot with more than likely athletes who run track or basketball. You guys are making that difference now with football, but definitely seeing a lot of track stars from European countries who are actually born and raised in those countries. Uh, France, Denmark,
Great Britain is big
Switzerland.
too.
Yeah,
I noticed there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, so they are everywhere, man. And one of my favorite race car drivers was born and raised in England and
Oh
Formula
yeah.
One, and that's Lewis Hamilton.
Okay. Okay. He's English. I didn't know that.
That's right. That's right, man. And
Oh
he
wow.
can drive.
Oh yeah.
I
He's
don't
like
know.
he's the one of the only ones I know. I don't keep up with Formula One, but I know his name for sure.
Okay, well, he's the only one for right now. But
Yeah, I know his name.
a 7-time world Formula One champion, man. I mean, you got to know your craft to be able to be at the top that long. So, but I was
Oh
just
yeah,
curious
for sure.
because we know that American players go there, but we don't know that there are black players or black people who are from those countries. They didn't come from America and then go there. They were born and raised in those countries. They speak
Yeah,
that
yeah,
language as
yeah.
fluently as anyone else in
And
that country.
hmm
So, okay, I was just curious because I'm like, man, it's got to be nice to see a guy and say, man, I wonder what state or what high school or whatever. And he's like, no, man, I'm from this country right
I'm
here,
from
man.
here. I'm from Norway.
I'm
Yeah.
from here, man. So, yeah. Well, look, DeAndre, stay with me, man. I'm going to take a quick time out, man, and
Okay.
talk a little bit about our merchandise and things we got going on. And then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about European football.
Oh, yes, sir. No doubt.
All right, stay with me. We'll be right back. That's
All right.
DeAndre Clayton, European quarterback, playing over there in the European League with the Oslo. I believe it's Oslo now. He was in Denmark, but I believe he's going on to Norway now. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit more about that when he comes back. But until then, let me tell you guys, if you want to get that merchandise that says quarter-five back, let me start with the first thing here. Here is our quarter-five back logo t-shirt. You can't get a better value or something nicer than this particular shirt. Soft cotton fabric, 4-color logo on the front, and for only $25, man, that's a deal. A little bit more if you got to get a 2 through 4X, but yet you send it in and we'll get it right back out to you. You can zell it to us at 904-994-2189 or at Cash App, $Q5back44. Go to our website at quarter5back.com to find out more information. If you want a little bit more than that particular shirt, let me tell you what else we got for you. Wait a minute. I know you're wondering. We now have the other logo shirt, and we'll call this the preeminent. We'll just call this shirt the preeminent because that's what it says down the sides. $40, but it's the sublimation quarter-five back logo t-shirt. You can see it in full color there, logos on front and back. It's a beautiful shirt, wears well, looks good. $40 gets you that shirt. I believe you spend another $10 to get another size from 2X to 4X. And again, all our merchandise transactions are happening with Zelle at 904-994-2189. Cash App, $Q5back44. Well, you don't want that? Well, let me see what else we got for you. Maybe you're a golfer and you want a golf shirt, or you just like to be leisurely. Here's our sublimation quarter-five back golf shirt. Sublimation with the logo front and back, the preeminent down the sides. That shirt is only $55 at about $10 for the extra large sizes of 2X to 4X. All shipping is free. Again, $55 for a beautiful shirt. And then finally, let me tell you, if you love to work out or jog or just like to look good wearing a warm-up, you now can get the quarter-five back warm-up. $89 for the small through extra large, $109.99 for 2X to 4X. This is a heavyweight, nice polyester blend warm-up. The logo on the front and down the lower left pants in our colors of orange and black. Is not a lightweight. It's a very, I would say, a nice medium weight warm-up for you. So you get you one of those, and man, let me tell you, people will be wanting to know where you can get that. And then finally, if you haven't gotten your copy of the book, The Forgotten QBs, you still can get your copy, the little known history information and statistics about black quarterbacks in American college football. This dates back to 1903 with the first black quarterback playing at Ohio University all the way up through 1990. If you want the information, facts, history of black quarterbacks during that time period, not just at the major colleges, but mid-major and HBCUs, you need to get your copy of this book and add it to your library. Your library is void until you put it on this shelf. So that's going to take care of our merchandising. We hope that you will patronize what we're doing. We know that you will like what we have, and just give us an opportunity to prove to you that we know we are the best in what we provide. Once again, membership and books are at Zelle 904-994-2189. Cash App, $Q5back44. We're going to get back to our guest right now, Mr. DeAndre Clayton, playing over there in that European League. DeAndre, welcome back to the Post Route.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now you're playing with another team, in Norway now?
Norway, yep. Also Vikings.
The Oslo Vikings. Okay. Uh, they're not the same colors as the Minnesota Vikings, are they?
Nah. Unfortunately, not. But nah, we're red and white. So it's actually
Red
been
and
the
white.
team that's been pretty much same colors my whole pro career out here. Been on teams that are red. But we actually got
Okay.
the our logo is actually like the Oklahoma one with like the OU, but it's an O and a
Okay.
V instead.
Okay. Okay. Now, do
Yeah,
you
so
have
it's
a
pretty
mascot
nice.
for the Vikings? Y'all got a mascot?
Shoot. I think we got to just find somebody across the city with a nice beard. We'll just get him to come out there. That's
Well,
what
you
we'll
know, for a
do.
long time, man, Minnesota Vikings, they had a guy who dressed up, had this nice beard, would dress up in a Viking costume with the helmet on and had his sword, man. He looked like
Yeah,
a real Viking
yeah,
back in the
we need to
day.
get him. Because you know this is actually the land of the Vikings, like up
I
here in
know.
Scandinavia. Yep.
I
So
know. That's
like
why I was
all them like
asking, man. I mean, it's
yeah.
like it
That's
shouldn't be too hard to find a guy
what I'm
in
saying. We
Norway
got
with
we
a
got
beard.
mascots all over the city.
Well, I would hope that they would at least do that for the Vikings, man. I mean, being that,
You know, it's a being a
just a
namesake.
tradition.
You know.
Yeah. So uh you're playing there now. What has been the difference between the two teams, if any?
So actually, this is my fourth team. So I played in
Okay.
Denmark for the first 2 years, 22 and 23. Then I
Okay.
went to Poland and played for Warsaw Mets, and then I went to Switzerland and played for Helvetic Mercenaries, and that's
Oh
a team
wow.
in the ELF. So ELF is like the old NFL Europe.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
got teams like the Dragons, if you remember them, the Rhine
Yeah, I
Fire,
remember the Dragons.
CW. Yep. So they got all those teams in that league now. So like that's like
Okay.
the highest league in Europe right there. So
Is it?
you make it there. Yeah. That's where all like the European guys. That's they strive for. Like all of them that want to play football, they're striving for that. Or they now they got like the pathways programs at NFL, CFL has combines all over. So I mean it's a pretty like yeah the opportunities have definitely grown for the game
Okay.
like all over for guys from all over.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yes, sir.
to know that that many opportunities are existing for guys, man, that's what I was saying. Guys need to realize that the opportunities are out there. They just need to, well, again, if they don't know how to take or how to locate that opportunity, then they're kind of just dangling, trying to figure out who do I need to talk to or whatever. But once they
Yeah.
find out, it's like, okay, now it's on
I
you to
mean, yeah,
make.
the connections never end. Like once you get out here, I really feel. I mean, because you can just meet anybody, and then like anybody in the football scene out here in Europe, like they know somebody in another country who knows this person, that person. So I mean, it's really like the network is extensive out here. To be honest, yes, sir.
Well, I mean, that's a great thing, man, to have that kind of network, man, because you can, move about, see the country, see the continent, and things like that. Uh, what is the timeline for DeAndre Clayton to be playing pro football? How long do you think you want to play this
Uh,
game?
I mean, I know I got this year. Hopefully next year and the next year. I mean, I want to play until my body's like, you know what, or until like my mind is just like, you know what, it's time to move on. But it's definitely something that I'm blessed to be able to continue to do. At 27, I've been playing since I was 8 years old. So I mean, the fact that I'm still playing right now, I mean, I'm blessed, and I'm gonna take it as far as I can for sure.
That's a long time, man.
I know.
That's a long time.
Tom Brady played 20 years in the NFL. So I mean, that's over what 40 something years probably playing. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
so well, that's good, man. And you on a daily routine to kind of keep your body in good shape, stay healthy,
Yeah.
stay
So I pretty much,
fit.
I mean, we practice twice a week, sometimes three. But like on those off days that I'm usually in the gym lifting
Okay.
or running, doing something like that, or just getting routes in with my guys, doing
Okay.
all that. Yeah.
So
So I mean,
when does your
I
season
definitely keep
start?
myself busy during the day.
Okay. When does your season start?
We got our first game April 6th. No, let
Okay.
me see again. April 12th, actually. We're
Okay.
playing stock against Stockholm Main Machine. So we're actually in the Swedish league. So we're a Norwegian team in the Swedish league.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So we play
you play from April until when?
April, and then championship game is in July.
Okay. So you
Yep,
got
yep,
3 months.
yep.
Okay. Okay. And y'all play every week?
No, not every week. So we usually do like a week on, week off, week on, maybe 2 weeks off there, and
Okay.
then so it's 8 games between April 6th, and then I believe the last regular season game is June 15th or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then after that we have playoffs and a championship.
Okay. Okay. So, other than just playing video games, what do you do for fun over there, man?
I really got to get out and I just walk the city sometimes. Like yesterday, I mean, after I lifted, I walked around that part of town just to go see what's going on out there, see what's
Yeah.
out there, and all that stuff. I mean, honest, other than that, hang out with my teammates when they're off work and all that stuff. Like I got two roommates here, so when they're off work and school, we just kick it in the living room,
Oh,
chit
okay.
chat, play the game together, watch movies. I'm definitely trying to get out and travel some more of the country, go out and see
Yeah.
like the countryside and see like where some of the other guys are from. So that's some things that's on my list. Also I coach out here as well. So on some of our off
Oh,
days we
do
have
you?
coaching. Yes, yes.
Okay.
So on
Uh,
some of the off days we got to coach the kids on that day. So that's always
and
fun.
when you say coach,
I stay with the schedule. I stay busy.
and when you say coach, who are you coaching? I mean, you coaching kids in high school?
Uh, well, they're like middle school to high school age. Yeah. So like
Okay.
it does the same way that it was in Denmark and all the other countries. They go like a U19 or a
Oh,
U17 team.
okay.
So like
Okay.
yeah, so it's pretty much like that. So no, it's no real school, but it's like it's a club. It's a club team again.
Club teams. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I focus on the quarterbacks and all that stuff just to develop them because I mean most of these guys never had a guy like actually be a specific quarterback coach to them.
Yeah.
So like when I come over, it's always a good thing that it's always nice to do that for them to give them some like real one-on-one training and tell them like the ins and outs of playing quarterback.
So how are the kids over there embracing American football?
I mean, the kids that are in it are like in it. I will say that for sure. Like these kids are dedicated. They grind hard. I mean, they work every day, whether it's watching YouTube or get out in the field with somebody. Like these kids over here, I definitely will say the ones that play football, they really grind. They do.
Okay. 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 Well, that's a good thing, man. I mean, to have club teams like that in those age levels, man, and those kids who want to play soccer, but those who want to play American football, man, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, they're in it. Like
they're
those
in
I
it.
mean, some kids when they switch over, they're like, there's no going back for them. Like it's like
Wow.
football, like American football is what they love to do.
Okay. So now let me ask you this question. What does it feel like when they call you coach?
I mean, over here, they do say coach sometime, but they just keep it like at Dre. I mean, and that's fine with me. I like that. I like that. Coaches. I like coach as well, but I like just call me Dre, man. I'm here to help you out. We're
Okay.
here to help each other
Okay.
out. So yeah. But I mean, it's awesome just being that person that they look up to, and like when they have
Yeah.
questions about anything quarterback wise, they like, let me ask Dre. Let me ask Dre. So there's some kids like that in Denmark as well. Still, like they got questions they'll ask me. So I mean, I'm just glad to be that beacon and that brain for them to pick. You know. So I mean, it's
Great.
definitely a nice. It's a great feeling. I love it.
So about how many club teams are there just in Norway? I mean, or just we're in your area. How many club
Norway.
teams?
I mean, shoot, just in Oslo, I think there's three. I think there's three different
Okay.
American football teams just in
Yeah.
Oslo,
Yeah.
and then all across Norway. I'm pretty sure there's about. I know there's at least 20 more. And
Wow.
that range from like the first division down to the second or third.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like these countries are having. I think each country has at least the ones that play it, at least 10 teams. So like
Okay.
all over. Germany, I don't know how many they have. They have so many.
That that is that is just awesome, man. It's so unbelievable that American football is having that kind of presence, and it's almost like it's unknown. Nobody's talking about it because it's like, who would have guessed that they got that many club teams over there for kids playing American football? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And I mean, it's just great. I feel like this is a good time to be over here and like being a part of that wave of players who came in who actually helped
yeah.
really grow the game to
Right.
what it's going to become. Cause I definitely feel like I mean it will. There's going to come a time when your rivals, I would say like Mexico and Canada,
Okay.
Mexico and Canada for that, that second spot in football after
Yeah.
America. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
So growing up, Dre, who was that guy you kind of aspired to be or looked up to, or really, that was your guy, man. That's my quarterback. Who was that guy for you?
I mean for me that might have been like a Dennis Dixon from Oregon. I liked him a lot.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Dennis Dixon from
Okay.
Oregon. That's a
That's
guy that I
that's
really
not a
looked
name
up
we
to.
hear a lot of.
It's not. But I mean, just the way he played, the way he got things done up there in that fast-paced offense.
Yeah.
So that's a guy I always liked. I mean, I'm a big Florida fan, so Chris Leak and Tim Tebow, that era was kind of when I got into Florida. So
Okay.
just seeing them play, and I fell in love with it, and then that's what I kind of modeled my game after. And then as time moves on, guys like Deshaun Watson, Manny Wilkins, those are kind of guys who were in college right before me. So like those are guys that I really really like to watch. I watch their highlights twice a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are some great guys, man. Some great names. I mean, definitely Chris Leak, a guy who definitely helped Florida win another national championship, and
Yes,
Tim
sir.
Tebow. It's just so many guys, man. And again, when we talk about the history of these guys who many of you are standing on the shoulders of that you may or may not know, it's just so fascinating and unbelievable, especially when you say, man, he was the first guy. He was the first one at that school, or he was the second one at that school, or, he played, at a time where they didn't really give him any opportunities, but he made a name for himself. So
Yeah.
that's great, man, and I'm glad to see that. You seem like you kind of a sponge to soak up the history of the quarterbacks, especially the black quarterbacks who have come
Oh yeah,
before you,
for sure.
because these guys definitely have done some things to make their names known. And like I said, man, when I get a chance to talk to some of these guys who I grew up watching play before my college years and after my college years, man, and being able to have conversation with them, I'm like you, man. I'm just awestruck. It's like, oh wow.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, like goodness gracious.
exactly,
Did so
exactly.
much, did so much for the game, and just like paving the way for black quarterbacks, now and in the future. Honestly.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of guys have done some things. They might start with a Doug Williams, but it's like, man, there's a lot of guys before Doug in the pros. Not, it
Yeah.
was quite a few guys before Doug did what he did, and they would have had opportunities, but they weren't afforded opportunities.
Yeah.
you know. So seeing guys like yourself continue to just grind like you're doing, man, and putting it out there. So you keep working with those young guys, man, and
I will. I am.
yeah, you
Yep.
keep. So is coaching something you want to do after you hang up your cleats, or maybe go into business?
Uh, Kind of want to put both together.
Okay,
Start training up kids, and then I mean, so that way I can stay around like helping coach them, but also get into the tap into that business side and at the grade that I got and all that.
yeah,
So yes,
yeah.
sir.
Are you looking forward to coming back home to do that, or are you thinking maybe you might
Uh,
stay in Europe?
I'm kind of just playing it by ear right now, seeing
Yeah.
seeing what happens over here, seeing if I can make some things happen here. If not, there's always home and there's always like a base for me there.
Okay. Okay. Your
So I mean,
folks
I've,
still
I've
in?
done I've done some coaching back home, of various youth teams and all that stuff who I've helped their quarterbacks. So I mean, it's like I got a network back there that I can tap
Okay.
into.
Your folks still in Virginia?
Yep. Mom in Virginia, dad in the city. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Well, I know those are some of the biggest long distance fans in the world.
Oh yeah, and they make sure they get over here once or twice a year, just to come see it in person again.
Well, I'm sure they exude with a lot of pride, man, talking about you and what you're doing on that front, and just the fact that you're growing to be the man that you're becoming. Because it takes a lot, man. It's one thing to be a man to leave home and go to college, man, but now you're talking about going overseas. That's
Yeah,
that's different.
yes,
Mom and
sir.
dad just can't run down the road and do something to help you out or bring you some
Exactly.
money. No,
Take,
that's not right.
it takes some real planning to do that now. Like, dang, what week do we have? We got to take a whole week off to come out here.
They come over there, yeah, yeah. So and when they come, they might as well make a trip off it. Like, man, we're not just
Oh
coming and going
yeah,
right back.
yeah. You gotta come here, see this, see that. Yeah, you might as well.
Well, I can imagine, man, when your mom comes, man, your kitchen gets an extra workout.
Oh yeah, when they came to Denmark, they definitely did right in the kitchen.
I'm sure. I'm
Definitely did
sure.
right in the kitchen. So I know
You know,
my roommates here when that happens, They'll be happy.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's always the roommates, man. Like, man, your mom can cook, man. Yes, yes, they can't get enough,
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
you know. So and of course, mom's like, y'all make sure y'all eat, like, yes,
Yep,
ma'am.
yep. Always,
Yes, ma'am.
always,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
always.
So it was nothing like, man, getting those care packages from home when you was in college, man. And your
Man.
boy, hey, DeAndre, your boys be waiting, man. Your mom sent another package. Golly, man.
That's exactly what me and my roommate did in college too. Like his mom would send something up, my grandma's mom would send something up.
There you go,
We
man.
just munch for weeks. We'd be good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do, man.
Hmm.
So that's a great thing. That's a great thing. So do you have any type of foundation or any nonprofits, anything like that you work with, or you want to start, or you want to give a shout out to, anything like that, man?
Uh, I can't even really think of one right now, but I do
Okay.
have a TikTok. I'm trying to grow that following up. Just
Okay.
doing some like content, like day to day content and all that stuff. So just follow me on there, and
All
we'll
right.
be on it like that.
All right. Well, there it is on the screen, man. TikTok at DeAndre11.
DeAndre C11. Yes,
DeAndre
sir.
C at 11. Yeah. So is that your number 11?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a
Okay.
family number. My granddad wore it for a while. My uncle wore it in high school, and then I wore it in high school, and then kept on doing it from there. So that's been
You
my
said your
number ever
granddad
since.
wore it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He played a little bit of football back in his day.
He was a quarterback?
Nah, he wasn't a quarter. Well, he played quarterback, run. He was everything. He was a
Oh, he was
football player,
everything.
quarterback, running back. Yeah, playmaker.
Hey, man, back in the day, guys played some of everything, man. It's like playing Sandlot,
Got to.
man. You can play anything. I,
Exactly.
I play anything, you know.
Just get me the ball. That's what it is. Just
Just
get me
give
the
me the
ball and
ball,
make things happen.
Just give me the ball. I play anything. Well, that's great, man. I mean,
Exactly.
to have a legacy like that, man, and y'all can
Yeah.
kind of kick and talk football like that. Does your mom know football pretty good?
She had to. Cause my uncle, he ended up, yeah. My uncle went pretty far. My uncle went to the NFL, so it's like she got into it one way or another.
Is that right? What team did he
Yes,
play
sir.
for?
Got drafted to San Francisco back in '07, and then played
Oh,
until 2014. So he was over the league. Went to
okay.
Patriots, Browns, Seahawks,
Well, drop his name,
Cardinals,
man.
I
Let me
think.
hope.
Thomas Clayton. I got it. Thomas
Oh,
Clayton.
Thomas Clayton.
Play
Okay,
running back.
drop his
Yes, sir.
name, man.
Thomas Clayton. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Very good, man. All right.
Alexandria, Virginia's finest, right there.
Alexandria, Virginia's finest. Okay. Well, that DMV boy, y'all pretty special up there. I know
Oh
that, and
yeah.
I had some relatives who lived over in Silver Springs, Maryland.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, man. And my younger cousin, man, he attended UVA back
All right. Nice. Nice.
in the late '70s. Played fullback.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm pretty familiar with that area, man. But
Oh yeah.
it
I think
it
it's the
it,
best
it
in the country. I think we got breeding grounds for football, basketball. We got it all. Lacrosse.
well,
Just
it's
athletes, straight athletes in that area.
as long as it's not snowing, y'all got it like that. But when that snow comes, man, like, now y'all got to put that thing on hold for a minute.
Yeah. Now them boys still get it in the snow. We
Is
still
that
get it in
right?
the snow. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you learning how to ice skate out while you over there, man? And that's something you ain't too good at.
Uh, no, no. So I'm actually got into snowboarding about 2 years
Okay.
ago. Some of my friends. So we've been a couple times back home, and now like in the city here, they have a big ski jump. So I'm planning on going there sometime soon with my roommates out there. Get to get back on the snowboard. Get it one more time before the season.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a
So
plan,
snowboarding's
man.
super fun. That's something that I really enjoy actually.
Okay. Had you ever done any what do they call it? Body surfing, or it's not the real surfing on the big boards, but it's like right there on the edge of the. I know I used to do it when I worked up in the North Carolina area, but
Okay. No, I
the
don't think I've really done too much of the water sports. I haven't done any surfing or anything like that. Nah. The snow is fine for me.
but not the water.
I mean, I can swim, but I'm
Okay,
not necessarily gonna get out there and be surfing.
I hear you. I hear you, man. That's no joke. That's no joke. Well, great. Hey, well, DeAndre, let me tell you, man, it's been a joy. It's been fun, man. But we have come to that point of the show, man. This is next to having you on the show. We've come to the second favorite part of the show, man, that I just
Yes,
love
sir.
doing. So, um, with you coming on the show tonight and being a part of the pass route, this automatically makes you a member of Quarterfied Back, the fraternity, and we'd like to welcome you
Yes,
to the
sir.
fraternity called Quarterfied Back tonight, my brother. Welcome
Thank you.
to the
Thank you. I'm
brotherhood.
honored. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome to the brotherhood, man. Q5B.
Yes, sir.
So what we do, we will send you your lifetime membership certificate and your letter stating that you're a member.
Yes,
And
sir.
as we continue to grow this, man, we are working on some things whereby guys can show off being in this organization with a couple of items that we'll be giving guys as we continue to grow this. So we'll be in touch, man. We've got
No doubt.
everybody's number, their email address. We won't lose touch with you. We'll stay in contact, and as things arise, man. So we'll make you guys aware of what we're doing, so we can get you some of this stuff, because we feel that, man, when you're walking around with a T-shirt that says Quarterfied Back, and somebody's like, man, what is Quarterfied Back? It's like,
You
yeah,
gotta tell them. Yeah.
that's my fraternity.
Yeah. I'm gonna let
That's
them
my,
know for
that's
sure.
my brotherhood, because you are now part of a brotherhood of about 70 other guys, man, uh, who have played this position, who have done what you've done, and will continue. And like I told you earlier, we even got some middle school guys
I
who are
know.
part of this fraternity, man, and they're
Yes,
excited
sir.
about being a part. So we are definitely thankful and blessed to have you as a part, man. Thank you for reaching back out to us to want to come on the
Of
show
course.
and uh, and give us this opportunity. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I mean, shoot, just if you got time, look up Oslo Vikings when we play. Come watch us play.
Okay. All right. How could they find you? They could just go online and find you guys
Yeah, yeah.
online?
So we got online. So OsloVikings.com, and then
Okay.
I'll put out links and all that stuff on my Instagram and all that. So I'll make sure people are posted and
All
let
right.
them know what's going on.
All right. Well, OsloVikings.com. If you want to see our new fraternity brother playing, we're going to make sure we get a chance to check him out this year, see what he's doing, seeing if he's spinning it like he say he can spin it, and make sure he's doing okay. But we'll be in touch, man. Hey, love talking with you tonight, man.
Yes,
My
sir.
best to you and your family. Continue to stay healthy and
No
do that
doubt.
work on the field. And we will be in touch with you in the upcoming months, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
No doubt. No doubt.
All
Thanks
right, now.
again.
Thank you.
All right. Well, another one in the books and another brother in the fraternity. Just like that, our newest brother, Mr. DeAndre Clayton, is now in the brotherhood of Quarterfied Back, and we're just ecstatic to have him to be a part. Well, that's going to just about do it for us on another edition of the Post Route. We'd like to welcome you to join us every Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for another episode where we talk to quarterbacks past and present, young and younger. How about that? Thought I was going to say, oh, young and younger. But we just like to say thank you to all our viewers, all our listeners, anybody who's subscribing, anybody who's checking out our Instagram posts, anybody who's responding. Please note that we are putting out our newsletter on Instagram on a weekly basis, so please check that out. A lot of history and information coming up through that. Well, for me and the team, until next time, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. And as we say here on the Post Route each and every week, hey, go deep and go for the bomb. Until next Monday, take care, everybody.